All right. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Well, what a wild ride it's been. Amazing how quickly 100 days can pass you by. And that's kind of where this idea all stemmed from. How are we going to ensure that people extracted as much value as possible from their summer, given the current reality of a global pandemic? Certainly, canceling a full season of races was never even on our worst case scenario board, yet here we are. When COVID first hit, virtual races started popping up left, right, and center. I participated in a few and found value in the experience. From our perspective, though, we didn't simply want to replicate what everyone else was already doing. We didn't want to ask people just to run a set distance and pretend it was in Squamish or Whistler or North Vancouver or on the moon. Initially, we had no intention of any virtual race experience, but as the full reality of COVID started to unfold, we realized we needed to do something, both from a financial perspective and more importantly, from a community perspective of just missing our people. On top of this, we wondered aloud if it would be possible to still raise over $65,000 for trails and search and rescue organizations, as we had done in 2019, but obviously without producing any races this year. It took the better part of a month to fully flesh out the concept, but in the end, it all came together very quickly. I was in my home gym during the initial shutdown, and there were no longer any real sports on television. So the ESPN 30 for 30 documentaries were gaining lots of traction again. I was pretty much binge watching 30 for 30s when it hit me. We wanted to do something that would involve 30 challenges, or maybe a few more than that. And we wanted it to last the entire summer. And more importantly, we really wanted to construct something that was fully inclusive. My idea was to ensure that anyone, anywhere in the world could partake. And most importantly, that any person, no matter their previous run experience or current fitness level, could join us and extract value from the experience. I stepped out of my home gym that day. I immediately called my business partner, Jeff. I said, I have the idea, but you're going to hate it because it's going to be so much work to get it all off the ground. And there's a very common theme between myself and Jeff. I dream something up. He establishes how challenging it's going to be. And together we make it all happen in the end. To my surprise, Jeff actually loved the idea right out of the box, and we were off and running. I initially had, I think, just over 30 of the eventual 36 challenges dreamt up. And then I put it out to the full team for some assistance with the final group of challenges. I know David Papineau offered up some ideas that stuck, and he also renamed a few to improve them. Like initially, I think Night Owl was just crossing midnight, and Wait Up was maybe gym time, and Unplug was actually loot out your life. Papineau got to work on the graphic design. Katie Mills, our web designer, got to work on the web build, and Jeff got to work on the merchandise options, while I got to work on the descriptions and the minimum run times for each of the challenges. You definitely have me to thank for the hidden bonus challenges along the way, but they were mostly fun. So some final numbers. We had over 2,000 people register and participate, which was absolutely everything to us. We took $10 from every registration and we donated that directly to the trails. And 577 of you donated additional funds on top of your entry fees. So in the end, we raised over $33,000 from the summer scavenger hunt alone to go straight to trail organizations here in British Columbia. And with our other fundraisers this year, we did manage to eclipse $65,000 in donations to trails and search and rescue for 2020. So all in all, we're pretty pleased about the whole thing. We had 71.5% female registrations, of course, meaning 28.5% male. And we had people from around the world join us and this online community, including all of Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, Sweden, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Japan, Norway, France, Ireland, Austria, Honduras, Denmark, Slovakia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Hong Kong, Poland, Switzerland, Spain, Bermuda, Italy, Qatar, and Belgium, 25 countries. And that makes this the most international event we've ever produced. So truly, around the world, we witnessed an insane amount of vertical logged, thousands of sunrises and sunsets, endless new trails and streets, countless cheering on of other runners and running with new partners, spending and shopping locally, listening to podcasts and audiobooks, running for food, attempting GPS art. Like, WTF, why is GPS art so hard? Run streaking, unplugging, running backwards, so stupid, and trying to express some form of creativity. But through all of this, my own two favorite badges were always going to be trail trash and flower power, cleaning up the SHIT and spreading the love to those around us. You all helped make this one of the most challenging summers any of us will ever face in our lifetime, we hope. truly memorable and for all the right reasons, and truly enjoyable when smiles, laughter, and joy are a little bit harder to come by these days. So we, all of us, can't thank you enough. And with that, let's get into some draw prizes. Okay, quickly, a couple of housekeeping items. Real quick, drinks are being served upstairs. BYO, and please ensure you close the fridge once you're done. Bathrooms, there are two options. The upstairs bathroom, you're going to want to beware not to step on any Legos because that doesn't feel good. And just down the hall behind me is my mother-in-law's place. She refuses to turn her hearing aids up to a perceptible level, so you're going to want to speak very clearly and loudly if you go that route. But with that, I would actually like to first thank and throw to our sponsor, Salomon, in Toronto, Ontario, Janine Lafayette. Over to Janine, please.
Thank you so much, Gary, for that introduction. And wow, what a great way to reflect on the last few months of this journey. Just a couple words from Salomon. Salomon, we're an athletic outdoor brand across so many ways that people around the world play in the outdoors. You're going to hear a lot more from us about our One Salomon presence, just acknowledging that so many people trail run, but also hike, but also ski, but also road run, snowboard, cross-country ski, and all of the different ways that people enjoy the outdoors. That one unifier across everyone and lots of people's pursuits is the sense of going out to play. And we often say we enrich people's lives by enabling them to play outside every day. So as we move through this pandemic, one thing to reflect on is just how important that is. And one of the many reasons we're so proud to partner with the team, especially with an event like this. We think play crosses over. Time to play is our slogan, but what I like to say is it's our manifesto. Play is in our voice and in our mindset. It's how we connect to Salomon friends, fans, regardless of their motivation. Our Salomon voice aims to teach people to listen to their inner child, to have that desire to learn, progress, and explore without boundaries. So it's so timely that we're taking that time to play through this pandemic in this wonderful new way of exploring the trails around us through what Gary, Jeff, and the group have really developed here. We're super excited to be involved, to really continue to talk about learning and progressing and exploring with the summer scavenger hunt. So again, as longtime supporters of Gary, Jeff, the Coast Mountain Trail series, super excited to be involved on this. Not only a new way of blazing trails, but as Gary just mentioned, taking care of our trails and really giving back to the trails that are around us so that many, many more can continue to enjoy beyond what you guys have done to really spark this movement. So on behalf of the Salomon team, congratulations, everyone. Super proud and hope to see you guys outdoors on your next adventures.
Thank you so much, Janine and Salomon, for the continued support throughout all of this. All right, we have a highlight package produced by our very own Elaine Fung, and Elaine will take the stage following the video. She has produced all the video content this summer and has overseen all of our social media feeds for many years now, along with answering every single email inquiry that we get. Essentially, she keeps me from going completely insane. Thank you, Elaine, and we're going to pitch to an intro video right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Elaine Fung, and as Gary said, I made the videos and all of that. So I think like a lot of you, I found myself without work, and so it kind of worked out that this scavenger hunt came along, so it gave me a lot to do and to make my runs a little more interesting, but I also got to dig around and search for your photos and make some fun videos every week. For me, when I did the hunt myself, I had a couple favorite runs, and a lot of them were actually running with Gary's wife, but my most favorite one was the run for food. A couple of friends, Linda and our friend Kate Montgomery, not Katie Mills. We started from my place, and then we hit a coffee shop, then we hit a taco shop, and then we hit a donut shop. So we made a food tour of Vancouver, and we just had a great afternoon on a beautiful Vancouver day. My least favorite run turned out to be the home run because I felt very limited in that 1K route around my house, and I actually live in a fairly hilly spot for Vancouver, and it didn't work out the way I hoped. So as I said, when I made the videos, I would go every week and just go through your social media feeds from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and just pick some of my favorite picks and put them all together to some music. What I loved about doing that was I could see some trailheads from various parts of the world where everyone ran outside of Vancouver, which is something nice when you can't travel. But my most favorite thing was seeing all of your dogs. So my picks for some draw prizes are some of my favorite dogs. Now, I loved all your dogs, so I couldn't pick all of them, but I have 5 for you. First one is Kristen Clark and her pug in a baby Bjorn. So, I mean, how could you not pick that? She's at, and the second pick is Keely Kinsman. Oh, sorry, can we go back to that first slide? Yeah, Kristen Clark. What does she win, Sonia?
Kristen has won a Salomon soft reservoir. Very Congratulations.
Nice. Yay. My second pick is Keely Kinsman with these 2 awesome puppers in the mountains. Sonia?
And Keely has won a Princeton Tech Sync headlamp.
Third pick goes to Eva Bailey and this very majestic looking dog.
And Eva has won a Salomon Pulse handheld.
Fourth one goes to Kathy McRae and these 2 very noble looking beasts on this hill here.
Kathy, you have won a Salomon Agile 2 running pack.
Nice. And my final pick goes to Michelle Lino and these adorable little guys here.
They're super cute. And Michelle, you've won a Princeton Tech Bite headlamp. Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much. And we go back to Gary.
Thank you, Elaine, for absolutely everything there. And thank you, Sonia, as well for filling in the draw prizes as we go. I'd also like to quickly mention the person behind the scenes running the show for us tonight is Jeremy Burrows. So thanks to Jeremy for his assistance with all the technical matters on the live broadcast here. All you need to know about Jeremy is we have a 50K race in North Vancouver called Buck in Hell. And Jeremy signed up for Buck in Hell and then ran the course in reverse overnight to the start line to do 100K Buck in Hell. So that'll tell you what you need to know about that guy. All right, so now on to my own personal draw prizes. Here we go. First up, the cutest summer scavenger hunt sidekick, definitely Ashley Nettlejack. Runner up for cutest assistant, very close here, was Sophie Oikwa. The next, yeah, there we go. 2 very cutie patooties there helping out.
Ashley won Ashley won the Territory Runco Maple T-shirt, and Sophie won a Territory Runco T-shirt, also Freed in the Forest.
Nice. Okay. And next up, third draw prize under the heading of Super Stoked, Marie-Andre Arcand.
And Marie-Andre is the winner of a Kananaskis Nordic Spa Hydrotherapy Certificate.
Nice. All right. The next up, best movie reference from one of my favorite films, Office Space. I do have my very own red stapler here that you can't see right now. Jessica Rathleff. And as we all know, the absolute minimum pieces of flair is 37.
And Jessica has won a Princeton Tech Sync headlamp.
Next up, for most ice cream stops on a single run at 4 ice cream shops, Marjolaine Wijbeka Groot.
And Marjolaine, you've won a Salomon Pulse handheld.
Don't judge us on our pronunciation of people's names. And next up, for best caption, which read, "Since I have so much air quotes support, I decided to shop local to get myself some bigger cans for my 40th. These are her words, not mine."
And that was,
yeah, go ahead, Sonia.
sorry, I was going to say that was Melissa Joyle, and she won a Territory Runco long haul cap.
I was too busy staring at our cans. I didn't even get her name. My apologies. The yummiest creative control goes to Christina Fraser. This is incredible.
And Christina, that cake looks delicious. You won a Princeton Tech Bite headlamp.
Runner-up in yumminess, Allison Parker.
And Allison, you have a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
And the next draw prize goes to the furriest assistant, Sarah Wran. Now that is her dog, not her. That is the furriest assistant.
He looks very soft. Sarah, you have won a Territory Runco Oregon Run cap.
Next draw prize is for best sit-up spotter, and that goes to Lauren Schroeder.
And Lauren, you have won a Princeton Tech Bite headlamp.
Next draw prize, best sit-ups without a spotter, and that's Toby Ackman.
Oh, this one's good. Toby, you have won a Salomon Agile 2 running pack.
Nice. The next draw prize, best WTF, but you look great Blue Man Run group, Melanie Secretan and friends.
Yeah, this one was really cool. Melanie, you have won a Salomon Advanced Skin 8-set running pack.
Next on the draw prize for best light bright unicorn. If you look closely on the right, that is actually a unicorn horn, and that is Amy Kett.
And Amy, you have won a Salomon XA t-shirt.
The next draw prize would be considered the worst interpretation of creative control, and I'll give that to Betsy Rogers.
I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but Betsy, you've won a Princeton Tech Sync headlamp.
The next draw prize would be for epic mountain views, and that goes to Lourdes Gutierrez Kellum.
And Lourdes, you have won a Kananaskis Nordic Spa hydrotherapy certificate.
The next draw prize is the exact opposite of a forest loam trail, that being this hard bedrock, and that's from Matt Giles.
And Matt, you might get a little extra cushioning in your shoes. You have won a pair of Salomon Sense Ride 3s.
Nice. Hands down, best afro we saw throughout the whole challenge, Beverly Barnes.
Beverly, you've won a Territory Runco t-shirt.
Now the question of who wore it better, Ashley Sanduliak.
Ashley, you have won for this contribution a Salomon Pulse handheld.
Or Diana Wilson.
And Diana, you have a Salomon XA t-shirt. You might need that to cover up.
Yeah, it's a lost opportunity to hand both of them t-shirts for this.
Yeah.
The creative control, the cartoon fund, love this one. Marianne Stark.
And Marianne, you have won a Princeton Tech Bite headlamp.
And finally, for draw prize immediately is the ice cream headache without the ice cream, Naomi Burnett.
And Naomi, you have won a Territory Runco t-shirt.
Now I have 3 honorable mention images that we'll scroll through. The first one is a light bright image here. And the second one is a double rainbow. Well played on leaving the house with your own rainbow on your head. And the third is a pretty incredible GPS art. Now, all of these people have won or will win draw prizes for another submission, but I thought these were pretty neat. Okay, so right now, Jeremy, if you put me back on screen, I would like to give away a Sunto 7 watch. Now, there were 4 people who completed the full summer scavenger hunt in the minimum number of days, that being 38. And those 4 people all received a Princeton Tech headlamp for their efforts. But now, one of them is going to win a Sunto 7 watch. And those people were, so this is my Sunto draw hat bucket. And those 4 people were Stephen Mullins, right here. Stephen goes into the draw. And Beth Shipston, next up right here. Brianna Chandler, 3. And Michelle Barrett, 4. Now, it's worth mentioning that Beth Shipston actually went for the double. So she finished in 38 days and then went back to do everything a second time. She got through most of it, not all of it, but incredible effort there. So one of these 4 will win a Sunto 7 watch. I'll put that behind my back and pull the name of Beth Shipston right there for your double down efforts. You win a watch. I didn't want to say this in case he won, but Stephen Mullins is actually my first cousin and lives in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And I don't think he's ever done 38 straight days of activity. So he did great. And I didn't want to, it felt like a conflict of interest if he had actually won the watch. So Sunto 7 watch there. Okay, and then my final draw prize for this portion. Now, don't worry, there's still 73 more draw prizes left to go on this broadcast. It's going to be a Sunto 9 watch. So top of the line Sunto retails for about 750 Canadian dollars. Now, there were so many exceptional efforts by people across the board and around the world. I can't say for certain that this person was the most creative of the bunch, but if anyone else came close, I didn't see it myself. She somehow managed to up the ante day after day and week after week. And well, rather than try to tell you about it, here is a short 2-minute recap video that I think you should watch.
Hello, guess who? Go backwards on. Dumbass, right here. Loop-de-loop challenge, 312. 45 minutes. Okay. I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna get Anyways, this summer challenge has been an absolute blast. I had so much fun with all the challenges and coming up with unique ways to represent those challenges. And if I only knew that this was my direction, my streaking badge would be a whole lot different than what I posted. Anyways, peace out.
So I don't know how that came across on the live feed. It was really choppy on my end and it lost a little bit of the delivery, but it was exceptional. The effort she put into everything. I hope it came out on the live feed to be timed properly so you could really see the punchlines of a lot of her jokes that she put in there. Her name is Tamara Snell. She brought laughter to so many people, and it's my great pleasure to present her with a Sunto 9 watch for her efforts. Okay, and with that, I would now like to pitch to my right-hand man, the guy who makes it all possible behind the scenes, the one, the only, Mr. Jeff Langford, everybody.
Hey, thanks, Gary. That was a brilliant video. I love Tamara's post this summer, especially that Bob Ross painting. If everybody caught that, that just cracked me up. That was brilliant. So hey, everybody, thanks for joining us today. And I wanted to start off with a huge thanks to our team. Most of them you'll see today, some you have already. You guys jumped in and made this such an incredibly impressive team effort. Can't thank you guys enough. But mostly, I really want to thank all of you, all the runners, all the participants for taking this event and making it far more creative and entertaining and inspiring than I ever imagined. When Gary and I were putting this all together, it was I could see the potential, but you guys were just amazing. And it's, this was my first summer in 20 years that hasn't been packed full of hosting events. I used to put on other events before we got into this stuff. And as much as it was a welcome break for a change to stop and enjoy the summer, I also really missed the energy, the start lines, the finish line, the overall experience of our events. And this scavenger hunt, and especially the Facebook group, always brightened my day. And it, participating in this too, for me, it just, like all of you have said so many times to us, it just made your running so much more enjoyable and gave me a really different perspective on the whole thing. So thank you all for participating and posting in the groups, and just being part of the whole thing. Probably my favorite challenge to do was probably the first one I did, and it was a bit strategic because it came with the most points, and I did it on the very first day. And that was a trail scavenger hunt. And again, like most challenges, it really made me stop and look around and kind of have a different experience in my run. But the best point was probably being at the top of the leaderboard for, I think, 2 or 3 days. That didn't happen again, even close, but my strategy worked, so that was good. Beyond that, I really liked watching the creative control posts. I'm so not a creative guy, as Gary mentioned before. He comes up with the ideas, and I figure out what can possibly go wrong and put the whole list together of how we're going to pull this off. So I'm, that side of the brain. So just watching you guys and the baking and the clothing and the quilts and the art with chalk and with vegetables and with dog hair, it was just amazing to see it all. So kudos to all of you. I still haven't done that one. That one's I think I'm leaving that to last. Probably be like a stick figure running or something. But I know Katie might get into this a little bit later. On the back end, I was, we put this all together in quite a short timeline, and everybody just pitched in like crazy. But we thought we had, a new server and lots of capacity and everything was going to be great. And then the first week you guys managed to break things. That was impressive, just how engaged you were with it all. So thank you for that. The one thing I'm sure that you've all been wondering about is the lanyard, which we've had a few questions about on the various sites and groups. I know some people were thinking there might be some exciting reveal at the end of all this, that this little thing had some super secret point that you couldn't guess, but unfortunately that's not the case. It was just actually a funny goof on our end. We had spent all this time figuring out, how long do we make this so that you can fit all the buttons on it? And then realized, well, we've got to put something on the end. Who's going to want like a name tag or a clip? That just didn't make sense. But our supplier said, oh, we've got these new bottle attachments. That might be a good idea. So they sent me a photo and we thought, great, bottle opener. Everybody's going to love that. So away we went, added that to the whole thing. We even had to, unfortunately, delay the whole thing 10 days to get these because they didn't have enough of them for you guys. And then the box arrived and I opened it up, all excited to see that, oh, let's check out this bottle opener. And it's bendy. I took a photo, I sent it to the rep right away, and I'm like, how are we supposed to open bottles with this? What on earth? And of course he says, no, it's a bottle attachment. You just put your bottle top in there and carry it around your conference or whatever you're doing.
So Jeff, and I've actually found a very good use for the bottle holder for everybody out there.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. You can bring your bottle of wine wherever you go with this attachment. You're welcome.
Nice, nicely done. And I also, Gary's wife, Linda, also came up with a good idea that I saw her carrying her hand sanitizer connected in here. So also a great idea in these crazy times. So that's the story behind the lanyard. We didn't kind of tell you that beforehand. We wanted to leave it up to everybody's creativity and see what people posted or suggested it might be through the 100 days. And it was pretty interesting. So thank you for that. So with that, before I use up all my time, I should get into the prizes. Jeremy, if you've got the first one, here we go. So my first one was Tammy Ryan from Washington. Brilliant creativity, as we've been dealing with all this forest fire smoke out west. She couldn't get out to run, so she got on her treadmill, put on NCIS, and did her city scavenger hunt. Great idea. Then, of course, also got back on her treadmill and watched Gary's Where Dreams Go to Die video for her trail scavenger hunt. So I thought that was super creative.
Yep, Tammy has won a Territory Run Co t-shirt.
Congratulations. My next one is Julie Frank in Melbourne, Australia. And for those of you that don't know, Melbourne's been in some of the craziest lockdowns through this whole thing. So most of the time during the scavenger hunt, she's been facing restrictions of being allowed out only once a day for a maximum of 1 hour within 5 kilometers of your home, with an 8 p.m. curfew, and something like only going to the grocery store once a week or something. So super restrictive. So this GPS track is from her doing a 32K in her backyard, if you can believe it. But that wasn't enough. She later did a 50K also in her backyard, 470 laps. Just amazing.
Crazy. Julie has won a Salomon Air logo cap.
And I saw she posted on her Facebook group that she's actually working today. So unfortunately, she's not seeing this, but we'll get a hold of her later. And this one was pretty funny. This was one of the first ones posted way back in June. Dan McDonald, who's one of our regular volunteers, he went out to do his home run badge, came back with this GPS track and posted it. And in the chat on Facebook, people were very helpful, helpful Facebook comments, but this time it actually was. And so he kind of tweaked this a bit, went back out and redid it for his GPS art badge. So in his words, let me see what he said. He calls this a T-Rex with dreadlocks screaming gleefully down the ski hill without poles. I thought that was brilliant.
Dan has won a Salomon S-Lab Sense 5 running pack.
Nice, congrats, Dan. And then I've got 3 random draws. These are just people we randomly picked off the leaderboard by number. So first winner is Jim McGuire.
Jim has won a Princeton Tech Snap headlamp.
And then Carrie Wiley.
And Carrie Wiley has won a Salomon Flashback Tech Racerback.
Ooh. And then Carolyn Cranston.
And Carolyn has won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
Ooh, sweet. And unlike Gary, I picked all names that were easy to pronounce, so I hopefully didn't screw that at all. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Sonia, who's been making little surprise appearances along the way here. Sonia is based in Whistler. She's been part of our team for years, but this summer especially was an incredible support for Gary and I for this event. She probably, separate from this event, she probably shipped, what would you guess, Sonia, over 1,500 packages with, event gear from our events that were postponed, stuff from the merch sale, all sorts of other things we had to ship out. We actually gave her a break on this one and hired a company to send out all your lanyards and buttons, because that, I think, would have probably driven her to the crazy house. But anyway, with that, Sonia.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you all at celebrate the end of the summer scavenger hunt. It's been a busy few months with the challenges. It's been super fun watching everybody get involved and really embrace all the different challenges. As Jeff said, just taking them and putting their own spin on them. And I think that's been a really fun part of it. As I've just said, I've mostly this year been involved in shipping. And so I'm considering a new job, perhaps with Amazon. But for the moment, the post office is very glad that we've mostly done all our shipping for our merchandise sale and for our summer scavenger hunt. I'm hoping that everybody has got their gear, or if they haven't, it is certainly on its way. You can see my t-shirt here. You can all get your new kit and rock it out on the trails or at home. Or it's been super fun, and I did enjoy participating as well in the scavenger hunt. I think, just the variety and just keeping it interesting for, rather than every day just feeling that you have to go out and do half an hour or do something. It gave a focus. It helped you to plan, what you were going to do. You look at the weather, you figure out, what trails you want to run. It just was great to have that variety. It kept things interesting. And it was great that it was really inclusive. Anybody really could do it. You don't have to be an ultra runner. You just have to be committed enough to work your way through the list. And I think, you know, a lot of people have finished. I know some haven't, but I think even just making that effort and getting done what you can is really special. So congratulations to everybody that did it. I think anyone that knows me would not be surprised to know that my favorite challenge was Run for Food. And of course it was donuts, because there's a great place to have donuts here in Whistler. So I went and got that. But I also enjoyed Cool Runnings and Shop Local, primarily because they also both involved food and sweet treats, which was great. Probably my least favorite challenge was the Night Owl. I'm more of a morning person. And so I think, you know, the thought of having to stay up late and then having to go out for a run was really off-putting, but I got my run buddy out and together, you know, she was going to help me scare away the bears, and we got it done. So I was able to finish all the challenges, and it was a great sense of achievement. I think it was only last week that I finished it. So it's not like, you know, it took me a while, but I got through it and I was really happy to finish. But yeah, you know, it's been a fun summer in a lot of ways. It's been a shame that we haven't been able to do any of our events. But the flip side is, you know, we've all got to explore a little bit more of our area. And, you know, I mean, we've had a wonderful summer in BC, so we've got a chance to check out some new trails and some new areas that I've never been to before. But I'm hoping that next year we might be back on track and be able to see all of you guys at real races again. So, yeah, exactly. I agree. Anyway, on to my other jobs for this for the summer scavenger hunt. This is what you've been waiting for, the draw prizes. I was tasked with reviewing 2 challenges. They were the creative control and trash talk. I know the creative control challenge put lots of you outside of your comfort zone. You know, lots of people, like Jeff included, keep putting it off and leaving it until the very end. So, you know, I'm sure that there'll be an influx of submissions coming in the next few days. And my stick figure drawing wasn't even worth submitting, but it was great to see all of your creations, and some were really amazing, you know, just not just the talent, but the idea and, you know, the effort put in behind it. So, you know, the creative control was really fun. And then the trash talk, I mean, really that goes back to what Gary was saying. You know, our goal is always to leave the trails cleaner than we found them at any of our races. So through this summer scavenger hunt, I'm sure that having 2,000 people out there picking up even 5 pieces of garbage each, it really made a huge difference. And it would be great if we really could keep that up, not just for this 30-minute challenge, but whenever we can. So for both of these challenges, there were lots of great submissions, and it really was hard to narrow them down to just a few. But here are the prize winners. So for creative control, I have 2 prizes. The first one is Jean Barrett, who made this great collection of running sketches lined up like summer scavenger hunt badges, or I kind of thought they looked a bit like Olympic rings. But I thought they were really great to represent some of the things that he sees on his runs. And Jean has won, let me check my list here, a Salomon soft flask. And next up, also for creative control, we have Mike Wheeler. Now, I'm sure everyone will agree that this portrait of Gary is pretty impressive and the likeness is very clear, although I think the beard is a little bit longer than in real life. You know, I was thinking about this. I don't know if I'd want to have this on my wall with Gary looking over my shoulder all day. I think that would be a bit creepy, but I still think it's pretty good. And Mike has won a Princeton Tech headlamp.
Well, the funniest thing real quick about this is that no one had told me about this before it happened in terms of like sending it to me. And I was just scrolling one day and then this happened, and it's very weird to be scrolling and then all of a sudden realize you're staring at an image. I think it's exceptional. Yes, very well done, but it did freak me right the heck out when I saw it the first time.
Yeah, I know it is. I looked at it. I did a double take, you know, but yeah, I don't know if Linda would like to have that on her wall either. So I think I'll leave that to you guys to figure out. Anyway, moving on to trash talk. We certainly would love to be able to award everyone a prize for their contribution because everyone has made a difference to the trails, but unfortunately that's not possible. So the 2 winners for our challenge, yep, that's the right image. The first one is Vicky Oswald, who had quite the haul while she was out on her run. Like, as you can see here, she ran out of hands to collect it all. Vicky, you have won a Salomon soft flask. And then Gary Lee, who rounded up a few friends to help him clean up some trails in his neighborhood. It seems there's quite an assortment of gear there. Gary, you have won an entry to any CMTR race. So congratulations. I guess we'll be seeing you again. I do also have a couple more prizes to award. These are our random draw prizes. They're not for any category submissions, but just picked off the leaderboard by number. So the first one is Claire Oberthur, who has won a Sunto 7 watch from our wonderful sponsor, Sunto. Congratulations, Claire. And the other is Isabel Diggies, who has won a t-shirt from the Territory Run Co. So that wraps things up from me. Good job to everyone who participated, and back to you, Gary.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jeff, prior to Sonia, and thank you, Sonia. And yeah, like we mentioned, 1,500 packages mailed out. Hopefully she still speaks to us after this is all said and done. Next up is the person who was tasked with making it all work online, Katie Mills. Now, Katie is a very well-accomplished trail runner herself, having just set a fastest known time on a 50-mile route 2 days ago. In fact, I think it's 36 hours since she actually finished. So she might be cramping up sitting in her chair there right now. Now, when we first reached out to Katie about this, she very much understood our concept and what we were looking to accomplish. The timeline to production we presented, on the other hand, was maybe not as agreeable, but she made it happen nonetheless. I'll pass it over to Katie right now.
Thank you very much for the intro. I won't take up too much time. I'm probably more of a behind the scenes person than a speaking in front of you all person. But yeah, like Gary said, I built the platform, put it all together, and also actually had a surprisingly fun time answering some of the support questions that came in from the site as well. As Gary mentioned, we had about 10 days to 2 weeks to put this all together. So, but we hustled, made it happen. Definitely helped with Gary and Jeff's last minute great ideas. That maybe 1 or 2 days before the launch really helped speed up that timeline. And Jeff also mentioned the server stuff, so we thought we had a great server package lined up. Then 2,000 plus of you logged on and started being super proactive, so that had to be upgraded again. So thank you for your patience with that. It was definitely a baptism of fire with the launch. So just really quickly, a couple of favorite moments from me. Number one, the amount of support requests that came in asking if you had to be actually naked. You didn't, in case you were still wondering. Number two, I was out jogging around where I live here in Lynn Valley and just saw a lady running down the trail backwards. And we didn't even have to say anything to each other. We just locked eyes. She looked at me, she goes, "Yup," and we both continued on our way. That was a good moment. Number three, probably my favorite, was a support request that came in. Someone signed up their partner using a different email address as a surprise, and then messaged me because she wanted to change the email address on the account so that when she logged in as her partner and claimed all her badges, she would get all these surprise email notifications and then would be presented with the badges in real life. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, that's enough from me. I have some random draw prizes to give out. So first on my list is Eva Gorney.
Eva has won a Kananaskis Nordic Spa Hydrotherapy Certificate.
Thanks, Sonia. And next is Mark Fenwick.
And Mark has won a Princeton Tech Snap headlamp.
Next, we have Douglas Begg.
And Douglas has won a Salomon soft flask.
And then we have Chris Hall.
Chris has won a Princeton Tech bite headlamp.
And next, I've been given names that are very hard to pronounce, so I'm very sorry to all of you in advance. We have Virginie Poitras. And
Virginie, you've won a Territory Run Co t-shirt.
Next, we have Kathy van der Geest.
And Kathy, you have won a Princeton Tech Snap headlamp.
Then we have Tanya Schlosser.
And
sorry,
Tanya,
I'm so sorry I butchered that.
I was going to say, I only have to pronounce the first names, which are usually a bit easier. So Tanya has won a Salomon soft reservoir.
We then have Megan Grezezak.
And Megan, you have won a Princeton Tech bite headlamp.
Next, we have Ekaterina Afonina.
And Ekaterina, you want a Salomon Air logo cap.
3 to go. We have Yonder Osterhoff.
Yonder, you have won a Territory Run Co t-shirt.
Then Alan Quinto.
And Alan, oh, you have won the Runner's Den shoe gift certificate. So it entitles you to a pair of shoes from Runner's Den. Well done.
Nice. And then finally, we have Etienne Saint Laurent Chenard.
And Etienne, you have won. You're the lucky winner of a Sunto 7 watch. Well done.
Cool.
So
Thanks very much, Sonia.
Katie was running her 50-mile FKT, so she didn't get her draw prize selections in on time. So someone, I'm not going to say who, decided to find the hardest names to pronounce possible for her draw prizes for her. So you're very welcome. You did a great job with that.
Yeah, thanks. I thought that might be the case. Okay, guys, that's it from me. So I am passing off to Jeff.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. You were such a trooper and a champ putting up with us, getting this all going and keeping it all going. So well done. And I might have a whole lot more ideas if we ever do this again. I also wanted to quickly mention, just following up on what Sonia was saying, for those of you that want stuff, our merch store is still open, and we're going to leave it open until mid-October. So you can still grab stuff, and Sonia will happily mail it out to you. So I'm thrilled to get to introduce this next person. Many of you probably know him as he's a bit of a fixture in our community here. He's the king of GPS art on Strava. He did 50 marathons leading up to his 50th birthday. And most importantly, he has designed every logo, every shirt, every medal, every piece of swag and merch that we have ever done with our races over the last 9 years. David Papineau, take it away.
Thanks, Jeff. Has it been 9 years?
Yeah, almost. We'll count this year because we did a lot of stuff.
Do you want to keep this banter going? Keep your mic unmuted?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Go
anyway, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so this has been quite fun. From the initial email I received from Gary entitled 50 or 30 badges for a new virtual challenge, prefaced with please don't kill me. This has been quite a process. Yeah, it's one thing to, every so often get a request for a new logo for a race, but getting 30 of them plus the main logo and being told I had 3 or 4 weeks to do it was an added challenge. So before everyone else's challenge even started, I feel like I had already completed my own challenge. Right around the time we were starting to wrap things up, 3 weeks into it, and I got another email from Gary saying, hey, don't kill me, but we want to add 5 more hidden challenges. Oh boy. Anyway, this is what life is like working for Gary. It's always a challenge. It's always a pleasure. I spent a lot of time trying to talk him down to 25 challenges. I questioned the idea of doing buttons because I thought, who the hell would want 30, 35 buttons? I had an idea, perhaps we'll do it for a future summer scavenger hunt, of Boy Scout badges embroidered on a sash. But anyway, that's a whole other, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, but the thing I think that made it most fun was just seeing what everybody out there did with this thing. I kind of thought it was a goofy idea to start with, but man, you people bought into it. Perhaps if this had been in normal times, it might not have had the same pickup, but holy crap. And I gotta say, seeing what Elaine did with the social media feed every day kept me going inside my fortress of toilet paper and paranoia every day. It was quite something, and really, I think helped sustain us through these dark times. So thank you to everybody for going all in the way you did. And I never would have thought, Gary is a genius. As much as I cursed him back in early May, this was a brilliant concept, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So thank you everybody that made this thing happen, and bravo to all of you. As for my favorite challenge, my favorite challenges were probably the ones I didn't get to. That's just the way the planning went. I had this great idea to recreate this Strava art coffee mug, coffee cup garbage pickup that I did a few years ago. But frankly, with COVID everywhere, I didn't want to touch anything on the ground. So that one will have to wait for another time. But kudos to everybody who did pick up garbage out there. My favorite that I did do, I had the privilege of piggybacking on one runner's track time. He is a multiple time 50-50, Squamish 50-50 finisher, David Myers. He decided he was going to do his track time by running loops of every track in Vancouver. So there were a couple of tracks he couldn't get to. Yep.
So Jeremy, pitch to the first image right now while Papano's telling the story. Go ahead.
All right. So this was David Myers' route. He hit every track in Vancouver. He was a stickler about it because Gary said you got to do 20 laps. So some of those he hit twice. I joined him about halfway through it, and David's day was 51K. By the end of mine, I hit about 42. But it was quite something. It was very inspirational, and considering we didn't have a 50-50 this year, I don't know, this was the next best thing. So for my first draw prize, I chose David Myers' track time. And did David Myers win anything?
Yes, David won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $50.
Oh, good for him. I had another one since frankly, there isn't as much trash in my new neighborhood anyway. So even though I didn't get to the coffee cup thing, I do have a representative who's still picking up garbage in my old neighborhood. So I wanted to give Dimitri Malonis a little something for picking up garbage back in the old hood.
Well, Dimitri has actually got more than a little something. He's going to be running any distance in our Squamish 50 event in the future. So there's a lot of opportunity to pick up some more garbage there.
All right, and I've got a couple of random draw prizes as well. Phaedra Kennedy, what did you win?
Phaedra has won a Princeton Tech Bite headlamp.
All right, and what else we got here? Andrew Shane, what did Andrew win?
Andrew has won a Salomon Pulse handheld.
Oh, nice. Anyway, Jeff.
Yes, Dave.
Am I kicking it back to you, or is there something else you want to talk about while we're on the air?
No, I think we'll kick it back to Gary. How's that sound?
Sounds awesome.
All
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
A huge thank you to both Katie Mills and David Papanow for truly bringing the vision to life for us. It's one thing to come up with a concept. It's something entirely different to deliver it. And I was absolutely blown away. I mean, like, these are incredible. I love everything about these. And yeah, they hold a special place in my heart, and I hope they do for a lot of you as well. So thank you so much, guys, for making that happen. One of our team members who couldn't join us today, our course manager for all of our on-the-ground events, and a bonus point reviewer for the Scavenger Hunt under 2,000 stairs and ass backwards, is Arnaud Vernet. And Arnaud's draw prize winners are, so first slide, Jeremy, for 2,000 stairs, doing them as step-ups on her patio, Chelsea Little. Well done, Chelsea.
Chelsea must be crazy, but she has also won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
And then I love this. I didn't see this. I'm glad that Arnaud selected it for doing ass backwards, dressed entirely backwards, including the ponytail on the front, Krista McDonald.
And Krista is the winner of a Princeton Tech Sync headlamp.
True story. I put my clothes on backwards when I was about 15 years old, and crisscross were a thing. So yeah, that happened once. All right, and under randomized draws, first up is Kara Aitken.
Kara has won a Kananaskis Nordic Spa Hydrotherapy certificate.
And the next random draw prize from Arnaud's side of things was Carl Allen.
And Carl has won a Salomon XA visor.
All right, so one other team member who wanted to join us but wasn't available this evening is Becky Ilpicola, and she was in charge of the bonus points for Light Bright and Shop Local. And I'll pass it over to Sonia to present Becky's draw prize selections tonight.
Thank you, Gary. I was just going to mention to any of you that have done our races, you probably have come across Becky at the racer registration table because she's usually our check-in crew leader, but unfortunately she couldn't join us today, so I'm going to do her submissions for her. We have Light Bright, first of all. This is the standout participants here were Ada Gook and her sidekick Melanie Secretan. They lit up their night with their crazy glow stick outfits, and I'm sure they turned a few heads when they went out for their Light Bright run. Melanie already won a prize earlier today, but Ada goes home with a Kananaskis Nordic Spa Hydrotherapy gift certificate. And unfortunately, we weren't able to load the next image for her submission for the Light Bright, but the other Light Bright winner is Jennifer Dawn Sanders. So you'll just have to use your imagination to picture Jennifer and her friends decked out in 18 feet of the Christmas lights and duct tape. It was quite a sight to behold. So Jennifer, in the theme of Light Bright, you have won a Princeton Tech headlamp. Now it's on to Shop Local, where we have 3 submissions to mention. So the first one was Megan Harmon. Megan made a couple of stops while she was on her morning run supporting local business, but her favorite running store was closed at that time. So she actually went out for a second run later in the day to pick up some new shoes. Megan has won a headlamp from Princeton Tech. Next up, we have David Meath. I think I pronounced that okay, but apologies if not. He picked up several items along his route, then he stopped for a snack and then ran home with the growler. I hope you managed to get home without having a taster. Dave, you have won a soft flask from Salomon. And finally, for probably the most permanent of purchases, we have Valerie Girard, who ran to her local tattoo shop and came out with this cute number on her arm. I guess she will always remember this challenge. In Valerie's words, pain is temporary, pride is forever. Valerie, you have won a pair of Salomon S-Lab Ultra 2 shoes.
Oh,
That's it from me, Gary, and back to you.
Fantastic. All right. Next up on our side of things is the one and only Mr. John Crosby and his Screaming Chicken. Now, John has been with us since day one, way back in the year 2012. No. I think John has missed only 2 of our races over that time frame. He can correct me here in a sec. So if you've run one of our on-the-ground events, you've likely had this guy call you across the finish line. John worked with Taylor Smith to help oversee the Facebook and Strava groups. So over to you, Mr. John Crosby.
Thank you, Gary. It's been a fun summer, first of all. I do believe it's only been a couple that I missed, just because I'm in a house full of dogs. And as soon as I started talking, all the dogs are coming to me. So I don't know what that says about me as a voice, but I'd like to thank everyone for participating in this event. The Strava group and the Facebook pages have been absolutely amazing. It's been just cool seeing people all over the world dealing with their challenges, pushing each other, helping each other, giving everyone the support to get through, and just all the cool photos and stuff. We're seeing a bunch of them now through everyone's things. I do want to give a little shout out to Tom Molly there. He's part of our team on the ground in a lot of aspects, helping in a lot of different races. But he was also really good at keeping that motivation going throughout the Facebook pages and giving everyone support and good jobs and whatever cool saying he had going at that time. I also participated, which I never get to do because I'm always behind the mic and I never see a trail. So it was kind of fun to be able to go out there. My least favorite, because I'm not a runner, was the sunrise. I could run through midnights for my life, but to get up in the crack of dawn. Now, granted, I did it during the smokiest time of Vancouver, so I really don't know if the sun came up. Funny enough, my favorite one was the 10K, because I actually got to go out with some friends, and it was one of the first times since the COVID lockdowns where I actually got to talk to a human instead of a computer screen or my brother's cat. That's another story and another Zoom call altogether. So yes, I do have a few people that I would like to give some prizes to. So we can lock and load the first one here. So the first one is Dallas Green. Besides having a really cool name, if anyone knows the Canadian band City and Color, you all may understand this reference. He's got a great mustache, great choice of podcasts, and he does a lot of runs promoting a lot of different things too. So if you get a chance, go dig through his feed. And to Sonia.
And Dallas, you have won a Territory Runco t-shirt.
And my next is Shirley Huco. If you go through her stuff, no matter what she's doing, she's always having fun, always smiling, always great adventures, doing everything that she does. And I just thought it was infectious going through all the feeds.
Shirley, you have won a Sunto 7 watch.
And on to the next, Uli Barda. Hopefully I said this correctly. Uli, I don't know if you guys saw her on the feed, but she decided to find a unique way of not finishing the challenge, and that's by popping her knee. So I felt that she needed, something to bring a little smile to at the end of summer.
And Uli, you have won a Territory Runco t-shirt.
And the other one, this was early on, Becky Rowley from the UK. She was in a situation, as you may have seen in her feed, where she didn't have any other running partners to do that badge. And so she put the call out. And so a group of people, this is a small segment of people who joined in at the same time in different parts of the world. So people were running at all different times and joined her to do a virtual run with me, running mates one for that.
And and Becky has won a Salomon soft flask.
There we go. Now you can run and be well fluted up. And I'd like to give a draw prize to Stephen Paradigm, mostly because in one of his, he did a 107K run. So good luck on the 20%. That's all I'm saying.
And Stephen has won, he's won a Princeton Tech Bite headlamp. So it'll be good if his run takes him into the wee hours of the morning. He'll be able to see where he's going.
Yep, safety first. And back to Gary.
Yeah, that 20% came in at the last second too. So thanks for Katie and Papano for making that happen. You're very, very welcome. We launched it and then didn't put a time limit on it, and immediately realized our mistake with that, especially because I had done a 15-hour run in that time frame. So that's where the 5-hour cap came from. All right, so thank you, John. And next up is Megan Eastwood, who joined our team for the 2020 season and is hence the rookie on the current squad. Megan was in charge of bonus point reviews for Snap Happy, and here she is to talk a bit about her perspective on things and to present some draw prizes.
Hi, thanks team. So one of my favorite things about this scavenger hunt, so when I first saw the scavenger hunt come through, even though I'm a long distance runner, I'll let you into a little secret. I actually can't stand running. I can't run for the sake of running. I can only run a long way if there's something cool to look at or something interesting to see. So yes, I can't go for the sake of a run. So when this first came through, the fact that you could go and shop local or check all these things out, I was super excited to go and start working on the challenges. And I just thought the little badges were just so cool. I've got my lanyard here, and I, like everybody else, thought this must be there for a reason. And I thought it was your favorite badge went in there. So thank you, Jeff, because I think I spent 45 minutes trying to get a badge to fit and stay in that little hole because I thought that's what. And then when I saw all the things coming up on the Facebook feed, I thought, okay, it's not just me that can't work this thing out then. So I'm actually quite impressed that it will hold a bottle of wine. So I need to go and check that out afterwards. So yeah, so I love my little, yeah, I know. Oh my God, who knew? So yeah, so I thought the coolest thing about doing the scavenger hunt was me actually participating and doing some of the badges. And then when Gary said, like, hey, can anyone step in and help? For for purely selfish reasons only, I chose that I wanted to do Snappy Happy. Number one reason, because as per my earlier comment, I actually can't stand running. And the only way I'll run for a long way is to go and see something. So I thought, okay, if I judge the Snappy Happy, I'll get all these ideas of all these amazing places that people have been. I can make little notes and add it onto my never-ending list of places that I have to go and check out. And sure enough, that is actually what happened. Is I got some amazing suggestions. I'm like, oh, where's that lake? Oh, where's that peak? I'm making notes of all these things that I need to go and check out. But I have to admit, the thing that has absolutely blown me away that I did not expect for a second was the Facebook feed. Watching people's posts of the things that they've done, like I've been laughing out loud at some of the posts. I cannot tell a lie. Some of my loudest laughs were some of the creative art attempts and some of the Strava art. Like, oh my God, there's people out there that are as uncreative as I am. And so for the people that really have truly, that are creative, and some of the Strava art is absolutely amazing. And for everyone that's actually tried the creative control and the Strava art, you can really appreciate how difficult it is. And some of those submissions, you know, I'm sitting in bed with my partner in the morning, checking it on the cell phone, going, look at that, look at that. It's just like, who has the time to plan that? It's like, yeah, I know you're not working, but oh my God. So absolutely, truly amazing. And I have to say that has been my favorite portion. I've actually looked forward every day to seeing people's submissions, including, and I have to admit, especially some of the stick figures. Yeah, it made me feel a lot better. Anyway, so now on to judging the photos. So the prizes I've picked, so Gary said please pick 2, and I could only narrow it down to 4. I started with 15 and I kept coming back because there's been some absolutely amazing photos submitted. And of course, one of the things that someone mentioned really early on, and it really stuck with me, is someone from back east posted a picture and said, you know, I don't live in beautiful BC. I don't have the opportunity and the amazing scenery like you guys do. But here's the pictures of my inner city. And there was some amazingly artistic photos of graffiti and just local places. And that really hit home for me that, yeah, you know what? When you don't have this amazing scenery that we have here, sometimes you got to work a little bit harder to get an amazing photo. So yes, all you people that submitted these amazing photos from BC that I made notes of, thank you very much, because I want to go and visit. You all got maximum points, don't worry. But for the 4 that I've submitted for these prizes, I didn't go through the scenery. And so if I can bring up the first picture. And so I really like this. So this goes to Amanda LeBlanc, and she wins. Sonia? Sorry, I've jumped on you.
Sorry, I didn't unmute myself. She wins a Territory Run Co t-shirt.
Okay, and so can we just go back to the other one? And so I really liked this because this photo showed to me that you don't necessarily have to live in a spectacular place to get a spectacular photo. This is a disused rail track with trees growing out of it. You can see the city in the background, and just taken at the right time with the sunset. And this photo, I loved this photo because it just goes to show that it doesn't matter where you are, you can still get an amazing photo. So yeah, kudos for that. So number 2, this goes to Amy Daka or Dasa, and she wins
Salomon Sense Ride 3 shoes.
And again, on this one, again, you don't need to live in a spectacular place. I mean, someone obviously laid down, or Amy, unless that's your feet and you got someone else to take the photo, which is what I would have done. you like this photo is just goes to show it doesn't matter where you are. You can get some spectacular photos from wherever. So kudos to this one as well. Number 3, I love this. The winner here is Lo Lanning, and she wins
A Salomon XA t-shirt.
Okay, so Lo, your pictures were amazing. Now, a lot of people sent in some brilliant animal photos. There's photos of owls in trees. There's close-ups of bees feeding on a flower. There's close-ups of snails that you must have had a heck of a camera to get that shot. But what I've liked about Lo's is the expressions on, because she actually sent several photos in, the expressions on the animals' faces in these pictures, like every picture just told a story. And this was one of my favorites, because I would love to speak to Lo and say, did the cow lick you? Like, are you about to get licked there? Are you lying down? Like, what's going on in the moment that this photo was taken? And, and like, did you get squished? Did you get licked? Like, what the heck's going on there? How did you get that close to a cow? So I just thought that this was absolutely amazing. One of my other favorites that I actually nearly picked is someone posted a submission, and it was a video of a chicken following them on the run. And then I didn't take your name, but you actually nearly won, because I just thought that was absolutely hilarious, filming a chicken following them down the road as they did the run. It was absolutely brilliant. And so, yeah, so the next one is this one, and this goes to Stephanie. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm going to blame my accent for butchering the pronunciation of this. Stephanie Wisniewski. Don't shoot me. And she wins.
She wins a Territory Run Co. zip hoodie.
Okay. So, so one point on these names, like when I chose these, rookie mistake, I didn't realize that I would be the one reading these names out. I thought some other idiot was going to get that job. So, Gary, I've learned you're not going to get me again.
You did fantastic. And I love the way that you went about your selection, because it would be one of the hardest bonus points to really go through for stuff. The numbers ended up being on balance with how we gave things out at the end. It was a bit of a rush getting people to submit, but yeah, we'll be a bit more balanced if we did something like this again. So thank you for that. That was fantastic. Now next up, I'm going to pitch.
Hang on, don't go back yet. Don't go back. I haven't done my draw prizes yet.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, so sorry, the Foggy River. Sorry, I just wanted to do. I did want to pick one from a scenery, and I thought the fog rolling in was absolutely amazing. So I actually have 2 draw prizes, and back in the spirit of not thinking that I was going to be reading these out, the first random draw prize was Taruko Roa, and I purposely picked a difficult name, thinking, ha, someone's going to have to read this out. Not thinking that would be me. Anyway, Sonia, who wins?
Yes, Taruko has won a Territory Run Co. t-shirt.
Okay, and my next random draw prize, the name's a heck of a lot easy, thank you. You know, the dogs have been quiet all evening, and then as soon as it's my turn to speak, everybody has to bark. So the second random draw prize is Sue Round, and she wins.
And Sue has won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
Brilliant. Okay, and then back to Gary.
Fantastic. All right, well done. Thank you for that. So I'm going to pitch to Wing Taylor here in a sec, who's got a whole schwack load of GPS artists. Now, let me just say, holy smokes, Megan just touched on it, but GPS art is definitely way harder than I thought it would be. And once you attempt it, you can definitely appreciate just how impressive some of these true works of art really are. So Wing worked on the bonus points for GPS art, and he will take it from here. Over to you, Wing Taylor.
Can you hear me now? I'm going to assume you can hear me.
Yes, you're loud and clear. Good job. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, here I am sitting on the banks of the Capilano River, about 2K south of the Cap Crusher course. It's a beautiful day. As Gary just mentioned, I have attempted Strava art once in my life, and it was just a bunch of squiggly lines that made no sense to anybody. And I'm going to go ahead and say that about 85% of the Strava art that everybody submitted is kind of like that, honestly. We opened, I would open an image fully open-minded, ready to take in whatever creativity was there. And I would just be staring at the screen going, what is that supposed to be? Sometimes there would be a little verbal description in the submission form that would tell me what it was trying to be, and I'd still look at it and go, no, you're not even remotely close. But that's because it's incredibly difficult. And I know people who do this, who pause their watch when they go around corners to create curves and do all kinds of techniques that I've never even heard of to get things to happen the way they want. And so it is really an art form, and the planning that goes into some of these things is pretty amazing. So yeah, I had a lot to go through, and I have a lot of artwork to show here. So I'm just going to dive into it. First up was just a really cute one. It's a bear. It's a little teddy bear, and I thought it was pretty cute. And so Lindsay Bowie is going to get a draw prize for the bear. So
and Lindsay has won a Princeton Tech Snap headlamp.
Awesome. Next up. When I first saw this, I thought it was RoboCop or something along those lines, but actually then I read the description, and it's a COVID mask wearing socially responsible person wearing their mask. The way the eyeball has the line, this person didn't know the pause your watch technique to avoid stuff like that, but it kind of gives it a really creepy vibe that I liked. So COVID Mask Man by Ryan Fairbrother.
And Ryan has won a Salomon Pulse handheld.
Okay, and here we have a classic, iconic symbol of BC, an eagle. I thought a pretty cute eagle by Steve Mousseau.
Steve has won a Territory Runco t-shirt.
Now, for whatever reason, there were probably a dozen elephants submitted, and I picked two of them. I like this one because it's sort of, it had an implication of motion. You kind of get the suggestion of motion, and it's really cute. So this elephant was by Ryan Saladay.
And Ryan has won an entry to any distance WAM race.
Woo! Go for the 100-miler, Ryan.
Yeah.
And I like this elephant too. It's got its toes all neatly manicured there, and I just thought it was pretty cute. This one's by Jen Bowen.
And Jen has won a Salomon XA visor.
The next one is a lion. Again, I just thought this is something that took some planning and really came off pretty well. This lion is by Rachel Gisbers.
And Rachel has won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
Okay. This next one is one of my favorites. This person ran a marathon distance. So this image that you're looking at takes up well over, it was more like 43K on Strava. So that's impressive. And basically the artist, Tony Tomish, was saying that was the mic drop marathon, ran the marathon, peace out Vancouver, and dropped the mic. And I think this one is really outstanding.
Yeah, that one's excellent. Tony has won a Princeton Tech Byte headlamp.
Wing.
Way to go. Yeah.
I think something super interesting that I've just noticed for the first time, but 3 of the last 5 Strava arts have all been around the Van Dusen Botanical Gardens in Vancouver. So it really goes to show how unique you can interpret the streets and the landscape around you.
Yeah, no, a lot of them are right in this main area of Vancouver, which does give you a lot of creativity, especially if you have the techniques down, which Tony clearly does with the mic drop here.
Hey, Wing.
So, yeah.
Wing, can I interrupt?
You bet.
I just wanted to add a little bit extra to the Tony thing. Tony ran the U.S. Olympic marathon trials.
Whoa.
He was up here. I think his wife or partner was at UBC, and he's an elite marathoner. And so he was running 4-minute kilometers when he was doing stuff like this.
Wow.
And
Okay.
he did multiple Saturday or Sunday runs where he was drawing stuff over on the west side. And as much as I didn't think this one was appropriate for a family crowd, it was an excellent job. This was the last run he did before they moved to Germany. Hence the mic drop.
Yeah.
mic drop.
No, it was, it's, I mean, 4-minute kilometers, forget about it. That's amazing. I had no idea. Yeah, so 42K and doing art the entire way, that's pretty impressive at that speed, especially. We had a lot of folks try and interpret the logo of the Strava Art event, and this one in particular seemed to do a pretty good job. Mike Sr. And you know,
Mike has won. Oh, sorry.
no,
Mike
go
has won.
ahead. I'm just going to say on my home streets of North Vancouver, also.
Oh, sorry, Wing. Yeah, Mike has won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $50.
Awesome. Next up, everybody's favorite undersea TV character, SpongeBob. This one just made me laugh, and I thought was worthy of a draw prize, especially the teeth. Oh, sorry. SpongeBob is by Christian Pellerin.
And Christian has won a Princeton Tech sink headlamp.
The next one, I also especially liked because it's on the trails and it had some solid vert associated with it. You can see there 669 meters of vert, getting this flower to grow out of the pot up the mountainside. This mountainside flower is by Vicky Gardner.
And Vicky has won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
Awesome. Okay, this tiger. So this is pretty amazing. This is also a marathon distance run through San Francisco. And it had almost 1,000 meters of vert. If you've ever been to San Francisco, that's not hard to believe. And so a 43-kilometer run that was really an outstanding looking tiger by Jessica Wilkins.
And Jessica has won a Sunto 7 watch. Congratulations.
Yeah, way to go, Jessica. This one was really impressive. This was just another File It Under Cute. This is a cute turtle by Melinda Smith. Nice job.
And Melinda has won a Salomon S-Lab Sense 5 running pack.
Awesome. This one I like because if you've run in Vancouver, especially if you ever do early mornings or sometimes late nights, you see the trash pandas, the raccoons out and about. And Iggy King did a pretty cute looking raccoon.
And Iggy has won a Territory Run Co. t-shirt.
Awesome. And then this last piece of Strava art, which was a Black Lives Matter, fist, iconic sort of fist art. I really liked because it was done by a father and daughter team as they ran through the streets of Vancouver. Really nice work. Ava and Aaron Griffith.
And Ava and Aaron have a couple of prizes, so they'll have to figure it out between the two of them. We have a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25 and a Salomon reflective cap.
Awesome. And then I also was judging and helping out with the fastest kilometer, slowest kilometer, fastest mile, slowest mile. And it was, the thing about this, and I just picked a few things at random for draw prizes, but I just want to speak generally about what inspired me about this challenge is, sure, there were some really fast people, but actually even more than that were just the sheer percentage of people who said that whatever their time was, that had been their fastest ever kilometer or mile. And, pick your time, doesn't really matter. The fact that in this challenge, people were inspired enough during this event to go out and push themselves and establish a personal best. So I just want to congratulate everybody because there were a ton. I mean, I'd say half of the fastest people that are going for their fastest submission were people saying, that's my PR, that's my PB, that's the fastest I've ever run a kilometer. So congrats to all of you for doing that. But actually the funniest things were the slowest kilometers and the slowest miles. And I kind of wish we had video of some of these. My first draw prize is going to a person that clocked a 2-hour mile. And I've clocked some slow kilometers, some of them with Gary climbing some vertical bushwhacks, but I don't think we ever managed a 2-hour mile. And this person did this on a city street. And so Randall Hinton is getting a draw prize for his 2-hour mile. That's pretty impressive.
Randall has won a Salomon soft flask.
And then as a parent, I can appreciate this next one. Amber Church ran a 1-hour kilometer, and that's a slow kilometer, with a 4-year-old. And so I can only imagine, you know, 4-year-old attention span can be somewhat limited, and just sort of one tiny step after another for an hour to do a kilometer with a 4-year-old. Amber gets a draw prize for that one.
And Amber has won a Princeton Tech sink headlamp.
Awesome. And last but not least, and by no means am I sure that this was, you know, sort of the fastest of the heap or not, but I just kind of picked a nice fast kilometer at random, a 3-minute, 8-second kilometer. That's a lot faster than I can run a kilometer. So Jean-Christophe Renault, congrats on your 308K. You're getting a draw prize.
Yep, Jean-Christophe, you have won a Salomon Advanced Skin 8 running pack. Congratulations.
Oh, fantastic. So anyway, that's it from the banks of the Capilano. Back over to Gary, I think.
Yep, fantastic. Thank you, Wing. Just so everybody that's viewing knows, we're 5 minutes from being done. So we're 90 minutes in. We'll be 95 minutes when we wrap. And I want to mention our very own Elaine Fung also did a 90-minute kilometer. Was it a kilometer or a mile? I forget, Elaine, but she did 90 minutes flat for.
It was a 1 kilometer around my neighborhood. There was video, but.
There was video. It was amazing.
Yes.
It was little tiny footsteps, just little tiny footsteps for an hour and a half. I loved everything about it. So
I think I texted with Linda the whole time. I watched videos. It was great.
Her significant other, Sean, came out to pace her and immediately started into like a 60-minute kilometer pace, and she had to slow him right the heck down.
Yes, I did. Very true.
All right, and last but not least, our head of logistics during our on-the-ground events. He looks super dreamy, but he's a big data nerd inside. Mr. Taylor Smith, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, as Gary mentioned, I like to think of myself, and I think he said it before, I'm the right-hand man to the right-hand man. So I don't know if Robin has a sidekick, but that's me. And I like to stay behind the scenes, which means lots of spreadsheets. And then when John's on the mic, we like to trade some jokes back and forth. Some of them aren't appropriate for this call because we're not all beyond the 9 p.m. Threshold, but we'll save those for a different one. You know, this year has been a little different, and I was disappointed that there weren't any races. I mean, this community means so much to me, the team here, and then everyone else who's out there. But one thing I was, you know, secretly super excited for was that I wouldn't have to wake up early. I'm not going to lose sleep, you know, Squamish weekend. I'm not getting 2 hours of sleep. And then Gary throws a nice little curveball in there. Okay, we're going to have a sunrise run. Okay, we're going to have a sunset run. Okay, you need to run through midnight. So I'll let you decide which one was my favorite, which one was my least favorite. But thank you, Gary, for throwing those in. Some of you may have seen me snacking on some stuff here on race days with the spreadsheets. Usually with Jeff, we like to make sure that we have all the supplies we need at our aid station. So I have some bananas here to make sure that I'm fueled. I got a good beverage, and I've been snacking on some jubes, and it looks like I timed this exactly for the duration. So good job, everyone, staying on track. I've been helping out moderate the Facebook group and the Strava feeds, and it's been amazing to see. I don't really have notifications on my phone, but I made sure I turned on notifications for the Facebook feed, and it seemed like every 5 minutes I'd be checking it. Okay, you know, I can't do this in the middle of work. I can't do this in the middle of work, but everything was amazing. And whenever I thought I saw something, the next minute there's something else that that topped it. So thank you to everyone for kind of making my summer and helping me live vicariously through all of your amazing amazing activities and sharing it with the whole community. So to kick things off here, I have a couple random draw prize selections. The first one will go to Ella Baker.
Ella has won a Kananaskis Nordic Spa Hydrotherapy Certificate.
Excellent. Congratulations, Ella. And the second one I have is Kat Davidson.
And Kat has won a Territory Run Co t-shirt.
Awesome. Now I have a couple that I'd kind of pulled from the Facebook page and the Strava pages along the way. The first one here is Greg Scott. He had this creative control badge where I'm no artist, and even if I was, I don't even think I could top this. He was well involved in the Facebook group, and then I saw one of his other ones where he decided to combine 8 of the badges all into one event, which is phenomenal. So well done, Greg Scott.
I just wanted to actually pipe up about that. These, this drawing that he did and the other one that he submitted were both amazing, and they were very much, they were the next on my list for creative control, but I just had trouble narrowing it down, so I thought they were really impressive. Greg has won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $25.
Nice. The next one that caught my eye, and this is a still photo, but there's a video to go with it that you can look up on the Facebook page. This setup involved 300 lights and 14 batteries. So I don't know how long it actually lasted with those 300 lights, but well done to Olivia Merrick.
And Olivia has won, oh, very appropriately, a Princeton Tech Snap headlamp. So she won't need all those Christmas lights next time.
Perfect. Well, the next setup will be 301 lights. The third person that caught my eye, this person was actually running from Honduras. So I could see all the background statistics on who joined the Facebook group and where they were from. And in terms of being on the Facebook group, he was the only person from Honduras. And he always brought some consistent interaction, positivity, and I always look forward to seeing his posts and kind of living vicariously, because we can't travel, but I felt like I was in Honduras when I'm looking at everything he's posting. So Nicholas Nazar, you have won
a Princeton Tech Sync headlamp.
Amazing. And hopefully that gets there faster than your buttons. I know they took a little while, but postage is a little slow sometimes. And the last one that caught my eye, and it might be because it looked like they were wearing a bikini when they weren't wearing a bikini. As part of their run streaking, Amy Kirby did 3 mountain peaks on 3 different days with a photo of each one sans bottoms. So hopefully this photo's a little low. We don't have any eyes that we need to cover, but congratulations to Amy Kirby.
Well, she's won a Runner's Den gift certificate for $50, so she may be able to purchase some new shorts.
Perfect. And back over to you, Gary.
All right. And with that, everyone, we must bid you adieu from all of us here behind Coast Mountain Trail Running. We simply cannot thank you enough for joining us this summer. And we sincerely hope that you're all staying healthy and sane through these challenging times. Now, with any luck, we'll be back to business as usual for 2021. But whether that happens or not, we hope you will consider joining us again next year for version 2.0 of the summer scavenger hunt. Jeremy, throw up the graphics. And thank you so much, everybody. Take care, be kind to each other. And there it is, that one. And then finish with the next one. Thank you so much. And thanks to our team who are clearly exceptional. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.